It's time for the final session. In theory. Will this actually be the last one? That depends on if the game throws a curveball at us. Any more than it already has. Now, before we roll through what happened last session, I want to tell y'all what I did in between last session and today. Because there's a bit of work I did. Didn't really touch our main boy's weaponry here at all. I've basically just committed to keeping the Atlamilia sword as the main weapon instead of the Sun sword. Really just not gonna worry about that anymore. Steve is now Xiao's primary weapon. Ignore this double impact, but I fully upgraded the double impact that we had and turned it into an upgrade for Steve. And I learned something about the Steve weapon that I forgot, but we'll get to that in a moment. That's where Xiao's gear is at, and that's probably where Xiao's gear is gonna stay. I went ahead and leveled up one of the two magical mallets we had and turned it into a synth sphere for the battle axe, leaving it here at 105 attack. Should be pretty good now. Should be good enough to do the job as needed. Didn't really do anything else with that. I keep going back too far because I'm trying to move around faster. The fairy ring is almost where I wanted it to be. I ran out of time working on it. But if you look, it's ready to become the destruction ring. It just needs a bit more ABS in it, and then it can actually become the destruction ring and unleash its full potential. So that's exciting. Didn't do anything with our boy Hirogaga, but we did find him a scorpion spear. And a whole debate in my mind started from that as to which of these two he's gonna end up staying with. And it's probably gonna still be the Mirage because it is the legendary lance he was gifted. Seems more fitting. The idea of having a weapon that poisons is very tempting. And nothing happened with Osmond because Osmond is already doing great. In short, not a lot really happened, but everybody's weapons are much stronger than they were before. That's basically all that changed. Because everybody's weapons got a bit better. Pretty sure I saved when I got here, but I'm just gonna save again. Now, something to note, ignore that bravery launch. That was from when I was grinding on the moon. I spent all the money, which may cause a minor issue running around in the Gallery of Time here. And I also sold off all of the spare weapons. Like, there's a couple backups, but I kept, like, only the best backups, basically. Aside from stuff for Goro, because I just didn't care enough to sell those. I was working up the Platinum Ring because of the fact that this was, like, already at Synth Sphere level, and it was looking like it was going to be a pain to transform it. Then I happened to get an Opal, which opened up the whole opportunity to get the Fairy Ring turned into the Destruction Ring. So that's how we're at where we're at now. And yeah, I think basically it's gonna be myself, Ruby, and Osmond that just go tearing the Gallery of Time apart. Everybody else will be there too. Now, I need to amend a statement I made yesterday about Steve the Slingshot. Turns out he does talk. And you'll see more about that here in a moment when we actually go into combat, because it'll make more sense. Now, plot rehashing overall right quick. People unleashed the Dark Genie from the urn that it was being kept in by having been sealed there by the Moon People. Dark Genie then starts destroying everything at the behest of Flag, a general of the Eastern Kingdom. Now, what his motivations are, we don't know, and Well, we're not gonna find out probably because he's dead. That's something that I'll cover here in a minute when we get to yesterday's session. But Fairy King steps in when the Dark Genie starts destroying everything, puts everything in these orbs known as Atla. Gifts us the Atlamilia, which allows us to open the Atla. Something pure heart, something good person. You're the hero now, no kid. And hero we are, because we saved our own village first, because that's where we happen to be. And, you know, self-interest and everything probably kicks in a little bit there, too. We saved the divine beast of our town, Dran, from being controlled by the evil, who then sent us towards Matataki Village and the Forest of the Wise Owls, where we met the Moon People, who then told us to go find the Moon Orb to control the Moon Ship. Get used to the word moon, it gets said a lot. In order to get the Moon Orb, we had to go to Queens. And in order to get the Moon Orb from Queens, we had to go diving down into a shipwreck there, reunite a long-dead queen with her lover, who had abandoned her because of a orb of everlasting life that its price is the thing you like the most. Turns out it was the queen. Shocking concept there. Got the Moon Orb, started up the moon ship, went up to the moon. Once we were up on the moon, we had to work with Osmond, the leader of the Moon People currently, and a grand inventor to create the Sun Giant. The Sun Giant is a massive golem, basically think like a Power Rangers Megazord or anything like Voltron or anything of those sorts, and you basically have what the Sun Giant is, complete with a full crew and everything. We flew that up here to Darkhaven Castle, breaking through the dark clouds around the castle that were preventing us from arriving here at any other time with anything else. We then fought what we thought was the Dark Genie in the skies above Darkhaven Castle. That didn't go well. That's also where Flag died. Turns out he was possessed by the Dark Genie, and trying to use its power properly broke his body. So that's the end of him. He got dropped out of the sky and is somewhere question mark right now. I'm leaving out details so you guys have a reason to watch the previous sessions as well, but this gets you all caught up on the basic idea of what's currently happening. Because the last piece of information you need to know is Seba, the one who created the Dark Genie, traveled forward in time to when the Atlamilia, which is what we are using right there on our hand, was to appear again to try to take it to seal the Dark Genie away better than they had before. He was in the middle of being possessed by the Dark Genie in this process, so he opened the gate of time for us instead, and that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna go back in time and put an end to this once and for all. We will stop the Dark Genie where it started. At least that's the idea. Yeah, it turns out when something doesn't have a corporeal form, it's rather hard to destroy it properly. And sealing something away for centuries just makes it angrier and stronger. Who would have thought? Now, we are 38 years into the past. We need to get to 400 years. Well, you use evil magic, and making something evil it comes with the territory a little bit there. Oh, they absolutely do. Just unfortunately, it was made for war to begin with, so it was never gonna be a nice guy. From the word go. And then you add it to the fact that it's being made by a melodramatic king who is currently losing a war, and you're never gonna end up with good results that way. It's certainly a hell of a week, yeah. Leave it to royalty to ruin everything. You know from experience. There's the pitch dark key that lets us get into the other parts of this area. We'll quickly pop this orb open because we're gonna need what's in it. I'm gonna stick with Ruby as much as I can right now because she's so close to changing from the fairy ring to the destruction ring. Yeah, you know, eventually you gotta rein them in. Though more often than not, by then the damage is done enough that there's gonna need to be a lot of cleanup. Huh, those curse dancers really don't handle holy magic very well. What a surprise there, really. Osmond, it's your job now. Oh yeah, let me go ahead and target an enemy with Xiao right quick, and I'll explain the thing about Steve. Steve talks about whatever you're looking at. Whatever you lock onto, he'll just ramble about it. And at the bottom of the screen. That's Steve's whole deal. So yeah. Turns out I remembered wrong, and he did in fact talk. I think I just blocked that out of my memory because he just kind of gets annoying after a while. But because it would be funny, that's why I made Steve Xiao's primary weapon. Is the idea amused me. And now we get our last upgrade that the fairy ring needs in order to build up into the destruction ring. Xiao doesn't talk at all. Steve talks for Xiao, basically. Just a sentient slingshot that speaks for them. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no matter how you look at that, you're more than likely gonna end up with a raw deal. Is those who desire power enough to overthrow someone can easily end up just as bad. But sometimes you gotta gamble on the devil you don't know. Is the devil you do know is that bad? There we go. We now have the destruction ring, so there's room for that to improve finally. Now, the intent behind bothering to do that is if we do end up in a scenario where everyone's going to have to fight in the final battle, I'm going to do something clever. And that is specifically, I'm going to take the synth stone of the Macho Sword, that'll max out basically any weapon that it gets put into, and I'll just juggle it from person to person if I have to. This way, every weapon can have its higher potential if it really needs it. Depending on how the situation ends up playing out. Because honestly, that then removes a ton of extraneous grinding. I don't know about this idea. Nope, it held. Okay, we're fine. I was worried my sword was gonna break there. Because it would be a real shame if this sword did break, because for those that don't remember, we've been using what became the Atlamilia blade for like half the game at this point. Is we've upgraded that sword like 4 times to get it to this point. So it would be a real tragedy to break it now. It would be funny, though. Like, that would be peak tragic comedy to just snap the most powerful weapon we've made. Just because I don't pay attention one time. And it would be even funnier because it would be only the literal second weapon I would have broken this entire series. The other one being the Wise Owl Sword that I swung so unwisely that one time. That's this floor done. We didn't get the thing we need to go to the back half, so no sense sticking around here. Travel further through time. What year are we gonna end up in now? 50? Probably 50. $51. They one-upped me. God damn it. Why do they always do that? Okay, I need Ruby for a moment here. Specifically, I need her with something with wind on it. Neither of you have wind, right? You have some holy. You have nothing. You have nothing. What? I'm gonna have to flick you to wind for the moment then. There we go. Switch her back to holy, probably. Because that's its highest element. And now back in the box you go. I meant to like refill everybody's water and everything before starting the dungeon. Completely forgot about that. But I'm sure we'll find a fountain or that weird stained glass spot that acts like a fountain here. Somewhere in this dungeon. Oh hey, we haven't seen these Dasher guys in a while either. Not that it mattered, but you know. He got to have another cameo. Good for him. There we go. Atlamillia Blade is ready to upgrade. And just chuck the... No, don't chuck the endurance increase in there. That'd be silly. Throw that in there. What I throw in this at this point doesn't much matter. This thing's pretty well stocked. Where is the Macho Synth Sphere right now, anyway? I know it's not in your weapon. In yours? No, you've just got your magic hammer. You've got it, don't you? No? Oh yeah, it's still in the platinum ring that it doesn't need to be in. There we go. 122 attack will make this go a little faster. Just gotta remember not to accidentally absorb it completely. Be very inconvenient if I did. Let's take this weird side path first. Yeah, now it's a 2-hit to take care of those. Perfect. Ah, there we go. Take a moment to restore everybody. Much better. Not everybody's weapons in good shape, but that's fine. We'll sort that out as we go, as needed. It was just important to get everybody's water restored, considering, you know, kind of blew all the money getting attachment parts to finish upgrading things, so I didn't have money for food and water. Now there's the exit, okay. Sure not to break the sword. We have that auto repair as a backup, but just better to stay on task here. Yeah, basically all I did for the weapon upgrading, by the way, was literally what you just saw me do there. Pass the Macho Synth Sphere around, make the weapon as strong as possible. I think it's a curse. Hey, it was a curse. And we get a javelin, which looks like a trident. Sure. Almost a one-shot on the evil plant. Oh, good. Some free water. I actually would need that right now. I'm not out of water, but I'm low. This floor is almost done. We found Sophia, whoever Sophia is. I'm sure this is gonna unroll even more tragic backstory for Seba, and we're supposed to be sympathetic for him. But I can't help but feel that he could have done a better job solving the whole Dark Genie problem in his own time, before it got as out of hand as it is now. So I find it hard to be sympathetic. Though I'm also kind of in the camp of, really, this whole sealing evil thing never fucking works. Just stop doing that. Every time you seal the evil thing, it just comes back later. And I understand you want to just foist the problem off on somebody else, but god damn it, stop doing that. Or just destroy. I'm fine with just destroy in the first place. Because if the Dark Genie was supposedly weaker back then, and the power of the moon people and everything was at its height, you would think that they would have been able to solve the problem properly then, not just kick it on down the road. Especially if we could supposedly deal with him with what we have. Like, sure, you can claim, oh, we needed this magic stone, though. You can travel through fucking time. You could have just done a better job of going and getting the damn thing, rather than letting things get this bad before going and getting the thing. I forgot I had switched back to Thunder because I couldn't hurt the Vulcans on the moon with fire. No, good thing I turned around for that. That was actually what I needed to leave the floor. That would have been an issue. I do appreciate the different sound effect types that the various mimics get. Like, the ones here actually clatter like metal a little bit more. I don't have any more poison cures left, so that's inconvenient. Hey, Osmond, it's your time to go just shoot everything for me, bud. After all, poison doesn't matter if I'm not in the field anymore. Admittedly, I'm gonna need to pop out to grab the orbs, but we'll clear the floor and then just come back through and collect all the orbs to minimize the poison damage. I really should have bought some antidote drinks. But, you know, how often do I actually get poisoned? The answer is always one more time than I have poison cures. No matter what the amount of poison cures is. Well, I'll be damned. It's the clown again. Hey, is everybody happy? A present in from the happy clown. Choose whatever you'd like. Well, while I was grinding, I chose the big box when he appeared, so small box. He gave me a machine gun. Best clown ever. Gave you a machine gun. Don't ask why he had it. I'm sure it's fine. He's probably got a license for it. Exactly. Power of friendship and this gun I found. Or in this case, when I got given by the gun I got given by a clown. True. Yeah, Admittedly, we're not really going to use this Jackal because that's where the G-Crusher came from. I turned the Jackal into the G-Crusher. Is that what this needed? Yeah, it is actually what it needed. Okay. Off you go then. Admittedly, I'm so, like, out of attachments now. It's more attack, more stone, more metal, more mimic. I don't have any of those, so you're just gonna be vibing. Which, honestly, the G-Crusher's already good enough. He doesn't really need more. I would love to give him more anyway. Just make him the most absurdly overpowered thing on the face of this planet. Make the Dark Genie look like a minor threat, but, you know. You do what you can do with what you got. If I'd realized there was only the one other orb here, I would have just picked up the one that was at the other end immediately. Oh well. You live and you learn. Just in case this is an instant level one. Nope. Sadness. Honestly, this is close to leveling anyway. Pew pew, pew pew, pew pew. That's right, get juggled. Yep, snail's gonna break. Parrot. The snail's biggest problem is it just has, like, no durability to speak of. Ooh. Banana. I'll give you the boot, too. Damn mimic. Okay, you want to play like that? Fine. Prepare to be crushed. You can still block, but it won't matter. Eventually, the bullets will get through. Just make sure he reloads that. There we go. Go get that other orb, then we'll leave this floor. And we should have enough money to get a little bit of supplies, so I might pop out of here. I'm actually not sure where we are going to be putting these items that we're getting from the orbs as well. I assume we're trying to reassemble the past along our way here, based on the reunion in the rain, the first campaign, and all of that. That really does sound like we're putting Seba's past back together. Block on the face. Oh, and for anyone that is for some reason interested, the snow that I was talking about during the session yesterday literally amounted to absolutely nothing. Basically, it's all melted aside from on the grass already. So, utterly meaningless. No, I can sell those. You know what? We'll go ahead and sell that for all the supplies I'm gonna need then. There we go. I didn't even realize I could sell things like the Bravery launches. I didn't even think about it. You don't actually sell poison cures in particular, so I guess I'll just buy a couple Mighty Healings. The only problem with those is I'm going to be tempted to use them for a lot of different problems. There we go, we got $3 left to my name. Oh, how real that is. I did debate going fishing for the gems instead, since it's every 1,000 points, I think it was. No, 100 points. Was a gem of your choice. Or 3,000 gold. I really thought the 3,000 gold was going to be easier. Turns out it wasn't. Okay, the hearts do magic attacks. Burn the hearts. Why are you taking so many more hits? Because I switched to fire. It must be resistant to fire. Try wind. Since this sword has a lot of wind. Ready to upgrade again? You know what, here. Have a bunch of elements, I guess. Because at this point, it's not gonna matter much. Just whatever makes the weapons better is basically what we're gonna be doing at this point. It's highly unlikely we're gonna be able to build up anything else with what we've got left. Realized I didn't have the magic gem, so there might actually have been something at the other end of that room and it just wasn't in range. Feather broke. I do have one feather left. Those were admittedly my feathers from storage, though. So once those are gone, that's all my feathers. There we go, back to 2 hitting them. Which makes sense, the red hair and everything kind of would be hinting at fire. You are a nuisance. You know what happens to nuisances? Machine gun. There you go. Oh good, you got a free chicken to replace the chicken I just used. And we get a free heal again, too. Look at that. How generous the final dungeon is, eh? Makes you wonder if it really is the final dungeon or not. Which wouldn't that be a hell of a thing if this is actually not the final dungeon? They set it up as the finale so hard, only to blindside you one more time. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I also genuinely wouldn't be surprised if I did all that prep work for the other characters and then just don't use them at all. Because as I said, it was primarily bed hedging for limited rooms and whatever the final boss fight's gonna look like. This really feels like the type of game that would give you everyone has to fight their own part of the fight type final boss, since everyone has been needed for the most part for their area's boss. You know, Amusing Scraper is a very fitting name for an annoying spam bot, honestly. I know y'all probably can't see that, but I see the Sari bot has banned Amusing Scraper numbers message, so since that name amused me, I figured I'd share that. Treasure key, always good. Wizard! Now wait a minute, if they've got actual like water fountains in the middle here, Why didn't they use actual water for the healing spots in this dungeon? Huh. I guess an actual fountain wouldn't be magical enough, huh? Sure, why not? I don't think anybody else needs a recharge at the moment. Fucked that up a bit, didn't I? Further through time. 109 years ago, so we've passed the 100 mark. Now we got spear-wielding diamond cards. We still just die like a bunch of punks. Come on. Just stop guarding. It'll be quicker if you don't. Menace of the West. Biggest menace in the West. Okay, that landed and actually worked. Look at that. Looks like we don't really have the pile of ranged cards to worry about anymore, so we'll go back to stabbing. I was mostly on Osmond, both for avoiding the poison damage and for just avoiding getting shot in the face over and over again. More horse riders. Oh, right. Had to have Osmond fly across this to begin with. Silly me. Broken sword. Not sure what to do with that circle this time. Part of me wants to switch to somebody else and somebody else's weapon in case it's a free level, but eh. Nope, it's just a weapon recovery. That's honestly fine. There's the clock hands we need. It is interesting that there's a broken sword in amongst the stuff. That's also another series I've never really done anything with. Supposedly it's good. If you like adventure games. I knew as soon as I'd gotten the repair one to happen that the next one was gonna be negative. But if you don't touch it, you don't know. And if it is actually going back and forth, if you don't touch that one, then the next one you touch will be negative anyway, if you think about it. Depending on how the pattern actually works, whether it is dependent on you actually interacting with it or if it is triggered upon spawn. Could really go either way with that one. There's a lot of wizards involved here. It's a whole lot of wizards. So like 4 notifications and a couple emails all pop at once, so I needed to make sure there wasn't anything important in there. Which, speaking of emails, remember, I will probably be doing Lurkit stuff after we start the Archipelago this week. So look forward to some new content here at the end of the week. Like, really, it's just gonna be new content all the way through, if you think about it. Admittedly, the games I'll be playing for that archipelago are all games you've seen me play already, so that's not gonna be that new, but how it all plays out will be new. It really depends on how you look at it for that one. 120 years ago. We're not even halfway through the time stream yet. So it's gonna have to be either jumping forward more aggressively soon, or it will be actually like a 20-floor dungeon. Spades. So that's all 4 cards, right? Because we started with clubs, then we got hearts, then we got diamonds, now we got spades. So yeah, it's all 4 suits. I honestly went through those pretty quick. Would have figured it would have been every couple floors that they would introduce a new one, just so they didn't run through them all too quickly. But what do I know? Then again, this dungeon may also be shorter than I think, and the time jumps are going to start getting much more aggressive. They really have been just like dumping out the monster types fast here. Really thought I was going to die there, but I took the risk anyway. Don't you just love it when you know you're going to do something foolish and you do it anyway? Do that just so he didn't somehow manage to hit me through my attack. Because you're at least invincible while you're airborne with things like the charge attack. So, got that going for you for a little bit of safety. Yeah, you lived through that, huh? Good for you. And perish. Could you imagine if I end the game with no attachments left in my attachment box? Oh, imagine if I could put the synth sphere there and double all of the stats from the Macho Blade. This is the thing I was talking about, though, where sometimes your weapons will just get those ×2 slots. That's as they level. They are very nice. You put a gem in there and you're just so happy. Just think about it, you put a diamond in there, ordinarily gives 5 to everything, and then 10 to metal. It would instead be 10 to everything and 20 to metal. It would just be so much better. One could even say it's twice as good. What a concept. Open the door. Let me in. I want to see what's on the other side. Big fucking hole. That's what's on the other side. And a boop. The map. Hooray, we have all of the knowledge we didn't really need once again. The thing is, the crystal and the map are kind of redundant, if you think about it. Because the map tells you where to expect to look for enemies, because one of the rooms has to obviously contain the enemy you're looking for. The crystal shows you where all the enemies and all the items are. So you don't really need the map to tell you where the rooms are, because you know where everything that's in the rooms are. So they both kind of make the other one not necessary. Though the crystal more than the map. You still won't really know as much as you could about the lay of the land without the crystal. But you can definitely just ignore the map entirely if you have the crystal. 140 years ago. So we're not really going up that much faster. Pumped up. Get in there. God damn it. Of course, the first way I go after getting pumped up is a dead end. No. Oh, right, jokers are a thing. You know what? That makes sense. Okay, they're not done with the card theme yet. So they're gonna be aces running around too, or is Joker the end of that thought? That is the question.
Hello there.
Hey there, Callista, how's it going? Reminder for everybody, if you prefer, there is a lurk command, and I mean a lurk redeem now, if you would prefer that to the lurk command that exists. Once again, trying to convince Twitch to actually pay attention and acknowledge people's existence. Obviously, if you don't want to draw attention to yourself, I completely understand. I am much in the same position on a regular basis. But the options are there for y'all now. And I keep telling myself I'm going to talk to that person that I had said I was going to talk to about making things more interactive and interesting around here, and then I just keep forgetting about it. Ooh, use the treasure key. What do we get? Another jackal. It's Jackal. It's a jackal. Somehow it's always Jackal. Well, honestly, the one guy who doesn't really need more weapons is definitely Osmond. I don't think I need anything other than that G-Crusher ever again, really. Interesting, the durability didn't go down on that last swing. Gonna repair anyway, though, just to be safe. I swear, I've seen so many games come out in recent times, like, I have no money, stop telling me. You're the one that wishlisted it. Yeah, I know, because I wanted to know, but goddammit, right now I don't want to know. Ah. Which reminds me, I still need to actually get those audio commissions up and running. There may or may not have been a few sidetracks that happened that kept that from getting followed through on, as is pretty much par for the course. One of which admittedly being when my throat started getting weird again. It's like, you know, I can't really do audio work if my throat's acting weird. Though one could also argue that I'm just giving myself an excuse there, and, well, you'd be right. You wouldn't be wrong to say it. You wouldn't be entirely right, but you're definitely closer to right than wrong. Because that is always a factor in these things. Another broken sword. They should get better swords if they're all breaking like that so easily. Drop something. Oh, it was money. Sounded like the other one also dropped money. Yep. Yep. And what do you know? It's another mimic. Hooray for mimics. Die. That's something I should have done as well, was farm more mimics in the hopes of getting enough mimic breakers. But like I said, we're probably not upgrading anything else at this point. That idea is probably over. The Destruction Ring's probably our last new weapon. Which is a little sad because there's so many weapons in this game that you can end up having. But it's also spread across 6 characters, so it gets hard to meaningfully maintain all 6 of them. 151 years ago. What was the last one that popped up? Wasn't it like 130 or something? 129? It's still not a very big jump. Of course, I say that. I also don't remember how many floors the last dungeon was, even though I was just in there like 16 times to grind. I think it was like 15 or so. I remember going to a floor 13 a few times and then realizing it was a fucking annoying limited thirst floor. So I stopped going there and I started going to floor 9. But if I did go higher than like a 13, that probably means the Colosseum was floor 15. That sounds right in my head. I think the longest dungeon in this game so far even was only like 20 floors, so... Which, that's a question for all of you out there, if you're interested in answering this one. Would you prefer a game have more dungeons, but they're all shorter, so they can be more varied? Or would you rather only a couple of concentrated, much more complex, diverse dungeons, but there's only a few of them? There's a thought to chuck out. Personally, I think I'm actually in the camp of I'd rather the dungeons be shorter so that none of them outstay their welcome. And I am very much a variety is the spice of life guy, as y'all know anyway. But I can see the virtues of the smaller amount but significantly more complex and varied dungeons as well. It is, as usual, something I'm of two minds on. But I do think I lean the smaller, the larger variety choice there. I have the opportunity to do the silliest thing here. The silliest thing being I take the Atlamillia blade, break it down, and put it into the Sun Sword. So that the sword that cuts through the darkness gets to do its job. But at the same time, I'm still torn on that one too, because like, the Atlamillia blade is literally named the same as the fancy gem we're using to save the world. It would be very fitting to save the world with that sword. Which, while I'm thinking about just concepts and things to begin with, I did end up deciding on something I'm going to do probably tomorrow. But I may put it out today instead. I want to do another one of those art things where I have people give me ideas and I mix and match things to make stuff. So I'm gonna just like throw on all the socials like a general, hey, give me a concept, a thing, anything, and I will take two people's things and mash them together. I just figured that'll be a fun thing to do again. What I'll do is when they're actually done, I'll credit the people that put forth those ideas all in like separate posts and such. So look at it as kind of a mix between a support post and a fun art thing, basically, is the plan there. Because it can pull double duty there. Because it draws attention to the people that put forth ideas, but also draws attention to the art itself that was done, and it lets me make more random art while feeling like it has more of a purpose than just doing the art for the art's sake, which art for art's sake is important. I just find it much harder to motivate myself for that unless I'm inspired for something. So this is my way of working around that, basically. Because in life, you really do have to find a lot of workarounds for things that are causing you limitations. Either find workarounds or like adapt to suit it. Either one works. Really depends on the situation and what the issue itself is. Because, you know, at the end of the day, there are some things you're not going to be able to get rid of or adapt yourself around, so you gotta just learn to work around it. Though largely, a lot of personality-specific issues, for example, can be modified as long as you're willing to put in the work to modify how you view things and how you do things to fix it. Though fix it may not be necessarily the right word for it. Because in a lot of cases, these aren't things that are broken, they are just things that don't necessarily suit what you need or what you want. Which is why I had to use the word adapt first. And there's my opportunity. The Atlamillia sword is +5 now. It's like the universe is telling me to break it down and put it into the Sun Sword. The alternative is I break down the Sun Sword instead and put it into the Atlamillia. But I'm scared of this actually being a needed weapon. But the best way to test that would be one of two things. One, bring it up to +5, and if it lets me break it down and it disappears, then it can't possibly be necessary. And B, break it. Breaking it would be the faster option. Because if it breaks and stays broken, you know it's not required. But that's also a dangerous choice. What did this need to build up? We can definitely solve all those stats with the Atlamillia blade. The elements might be solved with that. I don't know about the rest of this. The rest of it is where the issue would lie. Because it would actually be kind of cool to somehow manage to upgrade the Sun Sword at the end. Like, have the climactic battle going, and then somehow we transform the Sun Sword at the end. This does have enough of every kind of breaking to probably be able to upgrade the Sun Sword, yeah. You know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna fucking do it. Orb. Here in the final dungeon, we made one more synth sphere. Not enough, though. Not a fucking enough. Jesus. How much does this damn thing need? It might be the holy, actually, that's the issue, because it does need holy. And that did not give much holy. Like, it gave nearly 30 of everything else. And it probably gave enough of all of those. Yeah, because it gave quite a lot of all of the ones it needed there. I do feel like I somewhat traded down. But there's a positive to this. This frees up the macho sphere to be put in something else. Or I go wild move here and I put the macho sphere in here too. Just a thought. Just a thought. Like, I obviously can't put it in right now. I would have to upgrade it at first, but you understand the idea there. And I might do it because it'd be funny. To me. I don't know if it'd be funny to anybody else, but it'd be funny to me to just have that completely get flipped on its head. Oh, that is definitely performing worse. But then again, it's also back on Thunder element. Your highest? No, Thunder is your highest, but let's go to Fire. These are playing card creatures. One would think Fire would be effective. Turns out it isn't, and I did that thing again where I move when I'm trying to use my menu because I'm trying to also dodge the thing at the same time, and I die a miserable death. So if you're thinking that I have some regrets about my life choices, you'd be correct. You would honestly always be correct about that, because I have many regrets about many things in my life. And we don't need to heal yet. Famous last words, I know, but I have lots of resurrection powder. Not as much stand-in powder, admittedly, but, you know, one problem at a time. Yeah, I knew I couldn't keep getting lucky on that forever. I was not anticipating him being able to reach me in time. I'm so glad this is just all falling apart for me now. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure I would have survived that from full health. Which may sound like an absurd statement, but I have genuine concerns about that. Okay, yeah, you have nothing in there, but I have nothing to give you, so just upgrade it anyway. It feels kind of wasteful to upgrade something without any attachments in it, but we're kind of in apathy phase a little bit here. But I suppose I do have the Macho Sphere free to put in now, so we'll just pop that in there and max out every stat on the G-Crusher. See how effective it is with 99 attack. Yeah, you know, that's about as expected. Because Osmond was the only one who didn't get a Synth Sphere of his own. Everybody else got at least one Synth Sphere in their weapon of choice. Even if some of them may not show it at this point, because I think it loses the... Ow! Yeah, you know, I think I've made a horrible mistake getting rid of the Atlamillia Blade. Because every combat I've been in since I changed that, I have died. The things I do just because style. Remember, kids, style leads to regret sometimes. And honestly, I don't even like the look of the Sun Sword better than the Atlamillia Blade. The Atlamillia Blade was cool. This thing is just kind of generic. But it's the sword that cuts the darkness. It made sense. I still could totally just load my save and pretend I didn't do that. But we'd have to go through so many floors again. I ain't doing that. I suppose that ends up one of those situations like, let that be a lesson. Not every bit's a good bit. Oh, you're on fire, not holy. I really thought it was doing holy with the way the heart was reacting. There we go. Ice is better for this. Get juggled, get juggled, get juggled, get juggled. Yeah, this is a bunch of random nonsense jammed in it. Right, because its whole thing was it needed all of the elements, so yeah, that's probably never happening then. Not at this point. I was toying with the idea just on the basis of, you know, just maybe I would make the thing happen there. Looking at that stat line, though, nah. Okay, I do have Drying Feathers left. My inventory just ended up shuffling in a way I didn't expect it to. This might get really awkward if we get to the final battle and I've actually made my sword too weak. Let's pop out of the dungeon for a moment. Do a quick inventory stock check. Are we doing on stuff? No, we're actually doing okay. Grab a few repair powders just to make sure that I don't have to worry about that anymore. Get rid of these that I don't need. Well, since we got some spare cash, I can grab some attachments if I want. So he's not selling the ones I would really need. And can I just say that it's insulting that he's only offering +1s here at the end of the game? You could have at least offered +2s, old man. Come on. Like, maybe it's just me, but that just seems like a horrendous ripoff. Grab a couple of those, grab one of those. Because these seem like the ones I'm gonna need the most at this point. It doesn't even have elemental stones either, which is the other, like, kind of stupid thing about that. I think they really are just expecting you to spend your money on the gems, or not at all. Those might be enough. Safe side though, at the very least for that one. Was mage needed? It was, but I think 40 should be enough for that. What I probably should have done was actually teleport somewhere else and buy holy gems for it. Since, like I said, the holy is probably the shortfall. Yeah, we're up to 205 years ago. So in theory, that's halfway. I say in theory because I assume the scale will change at some point. Oh, we got liches to replace the ghosts Once upon a time. So I realized my sword was damaged, so I panicked a little there. Could you fucking not with the stabbing literally every time I get a chance to move? Okay, you know what? You know what defeats magic better than magic? Gun. Just trying to save some experience just so we can at least finish leveling this sword, though. Speed plus 3? That's great, except speed's the one thing I consistently am maxing out on everything without needing to try. Mighty healing is good. What's in the box? There's the map. We still have yet to go to the backside of any of these floors, I think. Unless we did when we were dipped in here at the end yesterday, I forgot. But I don't think we did. Remember, fire doesn't work on these guys. So that may be the other thing, is there might just be like a bad elemental mismatch I've been doing this whole time. Which, since this has a decent magic stat, I do want to leverage its elemental attack. Yeah, no, you are actually hurt by ice. With the coloration and everything, I kind of expected him to be like immune to ice. Real shame for him at that end of the day on that one, huh? Didn't we get Sophia once already? I feel like we already picked up a Sophia. Hey, we can actually look at all of this as well. We have almost everything. There's only four more bits missing. I guess let's assemble these while I'm thinking about it. So obviously the crown, his father in the bed. Presumably his dad's dying. Okay, looks like all this is just about in order here. That was Sophia's slot. Slot made for Sophia. Oh wait, we have the option to see these. I think as we assemble them, we're actually gonna like unfurl all of this. So we probably should actually watch these now, before things get too far away. Wizard! Now I'm just picturing the, like, lizard button, but with wizard. 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 Obviously, the deal has to involve all of the creepy robe man. Oh, it was a fort. I really thought it was like a chimney or something. I'm like, why is there a chimney involved here? Did it come down the chimney like Santa Claus to offer him an evil deal? Because that would actually be a very funny way to go about doing that. Just ho, 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 for you, young man, a devil deal. Ho, ho, ho. Let's see these. By law and by my will, the crown is yours. He proclaims with his last breath, and I begged his lifeless form. Tell me, father, what should I do as king? In the ceremony, it was the day of my crowning that I met you. Spotlight conveniently formed on you, and I don't know how. Your blue eyes catch mine once, and then you vanish. Somebody turned off the light. Who on earth are you? I want to meet you again. That's all I can think of now. You went to the moon, and it was hard to get to you. Then the minister rushed into my room in a panic. Princess's buggy of neighbor country is missing in the storm. I reunited with you an hour after that. I take it she was the princess whose buggy crashed, then. They lie in wait for us, veiled by the morning mist. I give my troops the signal. The cavalry slices through, this ferocity before me. Is this war? No, it's clearly a party. I thought I heard my father's voice. Do not fear. Your task is to protect this country. Allies fall. The West has a wizard with fearful power. Are we losing? No, I will not retreat. I must hold here or those devils will invade your castle. A long time has passed since the war began. We're nearly defeated. To regroup, I took rest at a safe place. Then a black-robed man approaches from behind the trees. You want power to win this day? I can give it to you. Light from my hands destroys my enemies. Is this black power? I borrowed the power of devils, but now I can save my comrades. With this force, I will never let them touch you. Now we'll have to wait till we hear the rest of the story. Which basically is what Seth already told us. That he met a weird man in robes that gave him the power that then led to the Dark Genie being born. Now the question becomes, though, was that man in the robe aiming to make the Dark Genie? Or was he just aiming to see what happened if he granted a mortal the power of magic? Because honestly, I could definitely see the, oh, let's just see what happens if I do this angle. This could be fun. Okay, we're getting a lot of power powder suddenly, so I feel like I'm getting a hint here. Or from the universe to do something. Like, try to finish upgrading the Sun Sword. And who am I to disagree with what the universe is guiding me to do, right? Just gonna cheese it out a little bit here, though, for safety. Yep, nope, he's dead. Real shame for him. There we go. Sun Sword ABS is full. Alright, let's put it all in there. We're committing to having the Lamilia Blade fused with it. Now, what am I short on? Exactly as I expected, just the Holy. That's an issue. I don't think I have any Holy Gems socketed in anywhere else. I'm pretty sure most things don't even have any gems in them at all. The worst part is, I was burning Holy Gems earlier. I was literally just putting them in things to get rid of them. At one point. Yeah, science for a second. Give me that. I don't think this has any real holy in it, but I want to see something. Okay, yeah, that maxes at 110. So I gave myself a raw deal there by swapping. Yeah, Lamilia Blade was definitely higher potential. Well, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Sometimes you step on your own cookie and that's how it breaks. really, I suppose I also have no real reason to be using the Sun Sword more than I have to. Until we get some holy gems anyway now. So I can just have Osmond just tear us through here and speed this up. Castle again. I assume this is the start of the process for the night of the assassination. Which, I think we can all guess who's getting assassinated there. And what it's going to lead to. Like, I really feel like that's one you can file under no prize if you guess the answer to that riddle. Oh, good. Weapons can't be changed and reduces ABS to use them. Lovely. Now, it's a good thing I'm using a weapon that I don't care about leveling, then. This is definitely a floor that I'll just have Osmond just splatter the whole lot. Status of the equipped weapon changed. Great. In what way did it change? Who knows? Always constantly amused and annoyed simultaneously by that one. Speaking of being amused and annoyed, these fucking guys. I mean, not that I'm really aiming for new weapons at this point. But I'd still rather not keep dealing with King Mimics all the time. I've got an antidote drink. That's actually helpful. What on earth would I need? It looks like the idea is I'm going into a painting. Big painting on the wall. There's a carpet in front. So presumably some kind of like magic thing. Either make the carpet rise up and go into the painting, or something to like splash on the painting to make it come to life, etc. would be required there. I know that sounds like a leap of logic, but that's exactly how that's laid out in front of me, so that would just be the most sensible thing. As absurd a statement as that is to make. There we go. Don't have to fight anymore. The G-Crusher's ABS is also gone already anyway, so it doesn't much matter. This game, though, much like large portions of the internet, run completely on abs. Sophia again. We got a Blizzard Golem, who's now dead. Remember, next time you just have a lich problem, just, you know, pop out your machine gun and go to town. There will no longer be a lich problem. If it weren't for the limited zone effect on this floor, this would actually have been a really good floor for training. Since these big golem enemies give lots of ABS. I was actually hunting titans in particular when I was training on the moon. am I really out of range? Come on. Don't break my balls. I need to get to that ball. Now, I will say, based on the amount of segments left, we probably are going to actually reach floor 20. Unless they suddenly have a floor with a lot of items come up, which can happen. Wouldn't be the first time they did that, after all. Because we've had floors with, like, 6 Atma in them at once before, so it's entirely possible. Ice is not what I'm looking for. Turn that blue gem pink and I'm down for this. All I care about is holy gems right now. Since we have the potential of upgrading the Sun Sword, I want to do it. Though I swear, if the Sun Sword upgrades back into the Atlamillia Blade, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to lose my mind, I know that much. Let's actually go buy some holy gems, because we should have the money for it. We can't buy them from this jerk off here, but I can check my money. Yep, so we got about 600 right now, and I've got some stuff to sell. Do I have anything to sell, actually? No, really. Got one of those. Sell the cheese. Sell the banana. Yeah, because I'm only gonna be able to get 2 holy gems. Because they're 300 each. Then again, the churro's not gonna get used. I'm keeping the serpent blade just because it's special. Rid of the steel slingshot. We don't need 2 jackals. The jackals are worth a good amount of money. You know what? Sell all of them then. I am going to just load up on holy gems, and we're gonna see if we can make this Sun Sword or hit its full potential. I've decided. Side trip time. Because I gotta make up for that mistake. Now, thankfully, the old man had access to the hag storage, so I don't need to worry about that. That's 3, 6, 7... I was gonna aim for 9, but I can't afford 9. Well, then again, there's 4 slots in this thing anyway, not 3. Four of them's not enough. Jesus, I'm glad I went ahead and bought more than that, then. That brings the holy up to 27. So actually, I did it perfectly, because there's 8 holy gems. The Big Bang. Alright, you know what? I'm in. I'm into it. Build up to the Big Bang. Okay. Okay. Star energy is condensed and creates the sword's energy. Alright. You know what? I'm fine with this now. This reality is acceptable to me now. Actually, let's just save here and I'll just teleport directly to the gallery rather than going back to the castle and then going through the door, because I have nothing I need to talk to the old man about. He is dead to me. Actually, yeah, 3 years, 5 years. So I guess it's... I'm assuming it's doing this on purpose because it's going to specific events in his past. Oh, god damn it. Can't even level this damn weapon up in here, huh? It's its highest element now, anyway. Thunder is still the highest. That's way better. And even against these blizzards, it's only taking 1 durability off. Oh, we've got flying armors again, though. I'm betting they'll drain the shit out of my durability, even with all that endurance. They really are just pulling out all the stops, just giving me every goddamn reskin they can. Oh, there it is. Really made it look like it was in the wall for a second there, so I got very concerned. There we go, managed to just rush him down. So I'm realizing they're not the same as the Arthurs, they're the same as the Masks of Piranha. So they might not actually be that bad. Unless the Arthurs were also the same as the Masks of Piranha and still ate durability like crazy. Their animations are the same as like their shield spins and everything. Okay, yeah, they do eat durability, but they do die reasonably quickly, too. So, still better to shoot them. Still definitely better to shoot them. Definitely better to shoot. Like, this whole floor seems to just be bad for weapon durability on anything that isn't ranged. And I already destroyed the ABS on the Crusher anyway. So it's not like I'm losing anything by having Osmond take care of this floor. Which means he gets a lot of work, which is fine. He's the leader of a village and an inventor in his own right. He's probably used to working. Which I would love to invent something. Let's be real. Going out of your way to invent something usually doesn't work out. A lot of inventions happen by accident. Like you're setting out to do one thing and you end up doing another. Just a random set of text saying must be protected, huh? Okay. I'm assuming that's just the point where he just oh no, must be protected is this segment down here. Okay. So we got the castle, we got some wine, which may or may not be poisoned. Got a door. Got Sophia. And we've got the assassin. Drunk with victory, I return to the castle. We will meet again. You come sooner than expected. Simply seeing you revives my spirit. that a euphemism? How could I realize you, the imposter, the one who would take my life? Oh. See, I was assuming Sophia was gonna be the one that gets assassinated and then Seta was gonna lose his shit and fully embrace the dark power. And that was gonna be the birth of the Dark Genie. I guess there was more space left for more things to happen, so more things had to happen before that. So there's Seba just giving away these spoilers in his goddamn memories. Drifting, twisting, swirling further through time. 225 years ago. Yep, there's the black dragons I was expecting to see at some point. That just made sense. Wow, they're worth a lot, too. Great. Great. I switched to this because it had health and you just took the fucking health away. Interesting that he was still attacking while getting attacked. Thanks, game. Like that is always a thing, is what is the point to having hit stun in a game if the hit stun doesn't mean anything? Like, invariably you'll have enemies that just ignore it, or enemies that are glitchy with it. Like, yeah, it'll sort of work, but more often than not, it really won't. Just trying to preserve that first one. God damn it, one too many bullets on both of them. I was trying to make sure they were one-hittable by the sword to try to get the sword at a level. Not so much, not so much. Okay, that's the one that's locked, which means the other one must have had like a button or a crystal or something and I didn't see it. Oh yeah, there's the crystal right there. The blue one. There we go. Make sure to put you back on your better weapon. And it's back to us. Oh shit. Wow, they hurt a lot. I really need to stop just brawling with the liches like that. It's a bad idea. I do not have the damage output to kill them fast. They just punch me. I'm fine with just gunning them down. I was debating trying to get the experience from them, but honestly, with the high likelihood of me just getting punched in the face for it, I think I'm fine with that turn of events. Did I get the key? Doesn't look like it. So we'll have to go back up to where we came in and go to the left then. See about finding what I need up there. Yeah, I know. It's thirsty work flying around all the time, Osmond. I'll hopefully find you a fountain. Yeah, they're worth a good amount as well. Now there's a fountain. That sorts everything I need out just fine. Of course, now I find the map after I found the fountain. For those that may have never noticed, the map tells you where the fountains are. That's pretty much the biggest use for the map compared to the crystal. Yeah, the clock hand. Still don't have the crystal, so yep. Kind of figured there'd be more orbs in here. Bloody dress. So I assume this is where the incident's going to occur. Because they separated the assassin appearing and the murdering occurring. Almost like a show going to commercial break when we're finding these various memories. Like, well, find out what happens next when you find the next memory. Yeah, and we are not upgrading the Big Bang to anything. I was curious, but at this point, nope, not happening. Just chuck those in there and give it its level up. Sophia, the knife that kind of looks more like a full scimitar, and the bloody dress. Disbelief cuts through the shock. It should have been me. The knife was meant for me. Why do you smile? Because you saved the one you loved. What about me? Who should I protect from now on? So there was a fake Sophia, and then the fake Sophia ended up stabbing the real Sophia, trying to stab him? The way they laid that out actually doesn't make a lot of sense. There's still 3 more events to happen. There's the key we were looking for. There's the crystal. Crystal that tells me I don't really need to go into that key room. Which I should have known that, actually, because there was only 3 Atla on this floor. Do I care enough to run all the way down there for 1 chest and a couple monsters? The answer to your question is no, not really. This is gonna be one of those times where that was the big chest, and you know what? I still don't care. We're kind of locked in with the weapons we've got after all, so we'll just move on. $238 years ago. Oh, they freeze, huh? That's a yikes. That's a real big yikes. Thankfully, we do have a cure for that. This does, however, mean fighting you fair is for suckers. Which, you know, fighting fair is for suckers in most situations, barring fair competition to begin with. I ended up gunning that bat down trying to kill Alexander. Not so great over here. Castle returns again. Could you imagine if you could just shoot from the fountain? You just would be immortal. You could just chill in the fountain and just keep shooting everything. Just for those that were wondering, yes, I did try to do exactly that. And that's why that text prompt kept popping up. Is the interact just makes you pop the prompt up. It doesn't let you shoot. would have been massive overkill to just stand there immortal shooting down a bat. But, you know, for science. There we go, G-Crushers, ABS is full. And we got the clock hand if we want to just leave. Which we need to get all the orbs from here, so we're not leaving yet. Let's not commit the macho to this. If I hadn't sold the jackals, I might have actually considered taking the G-Crusher, putting it into a jackal, and then rolling it back up into the G-Crusher again to see if it ended up stronger. Though, in hindsight, that sounds stupid. I think it did have more than one path, so it might have been able to, like, turn it into the other thing other than the swallow. Oh, there's the dark cloud. We found the video game. So the next event must be where the first iteration of the Dark Genie appears. And with the way this is playing out, I'm wondering more and more if Dark Genie is just like a translation thing. And like it was never actually called a genie in the original release. But the word used for it was close enough to genie, so they're like, okay, maybe it's supposed to be that when they were localizing it. Like, it could have just been, like, just an evil spirit or something and ended up being labeled genie. Resurrection powder is always welcome. Got plenty of space right now, so I'm fine with having things I don't necessarily immediately need. I've got the power of all of Blue Terra behind me, after all. And the moon. That's a hell of a thing, isn't it? Having the entire well-being and power of two different planets both in your hands and at your back. Ooh. Don't let that go to my head too much. But, you know, also at the same time, no pressure. No pressure at all. Definitely a case of, not to alarm you, but we're all counting on you. Good luck. Black blood. Was checking on something. Don't mind me. Always got plates spinning, you know me. And you might be wondering, why do I refer to it as plate spinning instead of juggling? Juggling needs constant monitoring, otherwise the ball will just hit the floor. Plate spinning, the plate will at least spin on its own for a little bit before falling over, so I figure that's a more apt description. Maybe that's just me. Of course, it also depends on how you spun the plates. Like, if you don't spin them fast enough, they fall over faster. But I don't think people even spin plates anymore, do they? Anyway, Birth of the Demon. Something was born from me. Something evil and powerful. Much more impressive looking than we've ever seen it be. Black blood in me gave birth to a devil. My endless hatred and bitterness from losing you is his energy. Yeah, so pretty typical stuff there. Love of his life dies. He snaps. Shit hits the fan. Now, the only question mark there is, does he mean it literally right now, or does he become the demon first, and then eventually the demon bursts forth from him afterward? Because I could see both. I could definitely see both being the case. Grave. I figured the grave would have popped up before the whole being split into an evil demon and everything bit, but what do I know? But if we take what the original main character's name is supposed to be, Toan and Seba, why do I feel like that's supposed to be something? Like, I don't know why, but there's just something ticking in the back of my brain about that one. Kind of turning that over in my head, like rearranging the letters. I'm not really coming up with anything. So maybe I don't have anything there. Maybe that's just not anything. It's just like tickling something in the back of my brain. Like I'm supposed to recognize that. I'm really not sure if I'm just talking to my ass on that one or not. Grave and things lost. I mean, usually there are things lost when there's a grave involved. Yes, this checks out. Ruined castle. Oh, that's not a good sign. So a grief-stricken person could easily let things fall into ruin. Which is always unfortunate when that happens, but, you know, somewhat understandable as well, considering you're dealing with a lot. Grief is a motherfucker. And even if you may not think you're being affected by it, it may actually hit you in surprising ways. Kind of like these mimics. These mimics hit you in surprising ways, too. But much less surprising when they happen every 5 feet game. Just a hint. Just a thought. Floor mimics now. This is just the whole thing. Hey, ABC. Goddamn mimics everywhere. Okay, yeah, I didn't even put the macho sword back in. How silly of me to forget that. We'll fix that after I put this upgrade through. Yeah, because at least it's still 29 more power, so can't hurt to have it in there. Gotta remember that it's in there pass it around when it's needed. So that's always the risk of having any singular item that you need to pass around like that to begin with, is eventually you'll lose track of where you put it. And it'll turn into a whole issue. Alright, things lost. Castle, Sophia, and a sword. First my kingdom fell, then you. I lost both you and my country. Wait. Oh yeah, I guess he was losing the war before she died. Currently we do. We are currently traveling through time, though we personally do not have the power to do so. We got thrown through time, essentially, by the man whose memories we're going through right now. I lost everything. Everything. I lost what? No. No. That's not it. What I really lost was myself. One more piece of trauma for him to unpack. And then we will be where we need to be, he supposedly. As we're currently supposed to be traveling 400 years in the past to use the gem on our hand to seal away the Dark Genie before it gets as powerful as it is in our time. Because that's a great plan. Yep, 400 years specifically. That's just exactly when this all kicked off. Let's quickly hop out of the dungeon for a moment here, since presumably we'll be going to the boss fight soon. Take stock of our supplies. Plenty of water, got a decent amount of healing, still got all these bombs. Well, we don't have anything to shoot right now there, Lark. But by all means, blast the Fairy King. I would not mind if he got eviscerated right now with the uselessness nonsense he's selling me. A few of those, grab a few of those. Just gotta make sure it's ready. I appreciate this. There we go. Third mighty healing. Bunch more repair powders. Yeah, that should do. Now, buy a few more heals because I don't know how bad this fight's gonna be. There we go. 2 full rows of chicken. Seems about right. Alright. Presumably we've got like 1 or 2 more floors and then we'll be at the Dark Genie. Which is weird considering we're only like 200 years back and we're supposed to go 400. But you know. Time travel's weird. Okay, yeah, no, they're gonna start skipping a bunch, it looks like. As we're going from 249 years ago to 300. I knew at some point it was gonna start making big jumps. I kind of figured we were gonna have at least one of these floors that was locked to you. Well, enjoy Steve dialogue at the bottom of the screen now. This is gonna be rough. You don't need to worry about being cursed. Just give you a stamina boost so you can actually kill these things sometime reasonably. Just a sheep with an attitude is a hell of a thing to say. Okay. Gonna have to be much more attentive going through this floor, though, since Xiao is our weakest character still, even with the double impact X-Sphere put into Steve. Which actually, on that note, Give me this. Gonna need this. That's better. 60 being Steve's max is unfortunate, but it's still better than where it was. Riplark. Look at that 3-stream streak. Supposedly those are working properly these days, and they don't just randomly drop. Oh, that's right, I can't recharge everybody at this fountain because only Zhao is allowed to be here. I mean, no, the Ceremony of Curses isn't starting. It already happened. That happened a long way back. Get something for... Huh. I don't know what he was on about with the you'll get something for if you're poisoned. I'm assuming he's referring to the fact that they'll drop antidotes. Since they're one of the ones that poisons you. Why would a Thunder God's hair be a green afro? I don't know what you're getting at there, Steve. Am I really being friendly by shooting them this much, Steve? I don't understand. Okay, you know what? I have all these bombs for a reason. Here you go. That's for you. Fingers. Put bomb in slot, please. There we go. Mage Slayer. Maybe this magic circle will do good things. Status changed. Great. Still don't know what that one changes anything to. Just does something. Now it's a dead bat, not a red bat. Well, yeah, I know it changes the stats, I just don't know what to. That's the problem. Yeah, I know the feeling on that. I have not thought about that game in a long time. I would honestly assume the opposite, because a lot of those magic circles are negative, so it easily could have, like, lowered a stat I just don't notice. See what I'm shooting at, but I'm gonna keep shooting anyway. Ow. Well, there's the curse again. Real shame about that one. There we go. Yeah, I can imagine it's late there. Good night, ABC. What's in the box? Another snail. God damn it. Couldn't you have at least given me a different weird laser gun to use? I already have one of those. I run all the way back over now. Because presumably the thing I need to leave this floor is over with those two enemies all the way on the other side. Because of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Can't have it be convenient now. That would be silly. You're a king mimic, aren't you? No, you're actually real as well. What's in this one, then? Another steel slingshot. Great. I already have one of those, too. Pretty much. Okay, that's all of the enemies dead, so now we can leave. And Steve is ready to gain another level, though I need to make sure not to have the thing be in there anymore. Poison. It was explosion! The best part is, I was initially going to pick explosion because I'm like, that could kill Xiao, that's a problem. I can cure the other two. But I went, nah, it's more than likely gonna be poison though. And then it wasn't poisoned at all. I mean, it ended up being fine. Xiao only was mildly exploded. Well, in this case, it'd be more than a minor setback, considering I can't switch characters here, so it would actually be an immediate back to the entrance for me. So it's a little bit more of a concern. A little bit more. A little bit more. Yeah. That's why it matters. Otherwise, ordinarily, I wouldn't care. I got plenty of replacement powder and such. I specifically purchased extras. So this is definitely the longest dungeon in the game, because we're now past floor 20, I think. Yep, this is what I expected, though. They're gonna make me have to use every character in the roster. This is why I upgraded everybody. Because I knew I was gonna have something like this at some point. You can't fool me, video game. I know when you give me a party of characters, I'm gonna have to use them for something. Come here, you. Don't you run from me. Oh, nice. Free weapon recovery. Look at that. A little bit. It makes a lot of weird noises. You just wax things with hammers and axes, it just makes noises. Oh, invincibility, fuck you. Frozen. No, don't want to be frozen. Do not want. Frozen bad for caveman. Reminds me of the Ice Age. Do not want. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Just shoot at me, damn it. That was a headbutt, not a shot. Rude. It's cheating. There we go. Battle Axe is upgradable now. We'll go ahead and let it have the hammer permanently, because that's meant to be part of it. Since we're gonna be stuck with you in here, give me that. Just pass the power of Macho down. Still didn't gain that much out of it either, because apparently the Battle Axe was also fairly close to its max attack, but I'll take what I can get. Get him through here a little faster. Oh yeah. Chicken. Is there a fountain around here so I don't have to use my resources though? That'd be great. This is where a lot of those repair powders are gonna go though, is into this floor. everybody else's floors aren't going to be too bad, but this does tell me there's going to be at least... Let's see, Ruby, Gaga, Osmond, 3 more floors. I had to do a quick head count because, like, there's a party of 6, and we've used now 2 of them, not counting the main character. So yeah, it would only be 3 of them left. My brain kept wanting to say 4, but there's never... I don't think there's ever been a forced floor for the main character. I think it's only ever been other party members are forced to be used. I think the anticipation always was that you'd be primarily using the main character since he's the only one who can open those orbs. And, you know, main character privilege, etc., etc. And Goro's slam move here is very useful. I just don't care for that being basically my only good option in combat, because that kind of is his only really good option. His regular attack is just not that good to use against a lot of enemies. Otherwise, he'd be seeing a lot more use in combat. Not to mention, as you've seen, he eats durability like candy when he uses that charge attack. So it gets very pricey. Yep. Yeah, it's bad, mate. I need to heal. Let's also remember, Goro has the least defense on the team, including the ranged characters, because we just never got any of his defense items comparatively. So he has it a bit rough. Yeah, because he doesn't have a combo attack, for those wondering. All he does is slap or chop, depending on which weapon he's using. That's all he does. Not away from you. I guess you can have the ice. You don't really need this speed, but take it anyway. Yeah, this ain't upgrading. Oh. Give you that back for now. Alright, off we go. We have one more room to go clean out, though I think we do have the clock, so I could just leave. But what if there's something cool in here? What if, though? I mean, cheese isn't bad. That's not really what I would consider cool or interesting, but, you know. And yeah, I kind of figured one of them was going to be the magic crystal since we didn't have it yet. Oh well, I tried. At least I looked. And now, presuming that they're going in order and making everybody take the field, next one will be Ruby. Which that'll be easy, because her magic is already very powerful. No idea what I just witnessed in my notifications. We'll figure that out as things load in. Every now and then, somebody makes a post that is just the least coherent thing I've ever seen. And I just have to kind of stare at it for a second to understand what the hell I just witnessed. Okay, this maxes out 99 everything. Not as good as it could be, but that's okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we shouldn't have much issue here at all. We certainly don't have the durability issue since ranged attacks take 1 no matter what character's using them. Just such a nice thing. Found the hands already, but I have no reason to rush out of this floor considering it's not going to be expensive. And literally most things die in 2 waves of her hand. She's also getting super lucky with, like, all of the spawns just being bats. Like, just a floor full of bats is absurd. It would have been fairly miserable for some characters to fight a floor full of bats, so I'm glad she's the one who has to deal with that. As we've talked about before, trying to melee bats is actually more annoying than it may seem. Though Goro might actually have been okay since his attack's vertical. He probably still would have been able to land those at least. Okay, and I now understand what I always saw, and it is much less interesting than it initially appeared. That will remain in the usual, we'll deal with that later scenario. There we go. Didn't drop anything either, disappointing. Destruction rings upgrade, it is full. Not that there's even that much of a reason to upgrade any of these things anymore. But they do get +1 to every stat when you upgrade them, so, you know, may as well. Okay, I've learned there's 2 enemies behind that door. You know what I'm not bothering doing? Killing those 2 enemies. They can live in that room alone for eternity. Bye! Enjoy being stuck in the time stream, never to be seen again. Yep, now it's Ngaga's turn. At 340 years in the past. We're almost to the 400 mark. We're almost there. Now, admittedly, in combat, Ungaga has his own problems. Specifically, his multi-swing is a little slow. But at least his primary attack is quick, so you could just keep chain smacking something like that. And he has a reach advantage due to being a spear wielder, so you can just kind of abuse melee enemies pretty well that way. Smack, smack, smack. What are you gonna do about it, huh? Smack, smack, smack. What you gonna do, huh? Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Or we can summon the winds, which actually was shockingly effective against that Alexander. I kind of expected it just to kind of plink at him a bit. Face the winds of change. That too also chews up durability pretty good, but it usually pays off pretty well since every tick that takes off durability is also a tick that'll deal full damage. Oh yeah, I wanted to potentially change its element though, because fire doesn't seem to be very effective here. Watch, fire would be the big weakness of these ice spewing black dragons though, probably. You knowing my luck. Speed. Oh, that was a lot of durability damage. That was effective, but that was a lot of durability damage. And the magic attack on this thing's not even that high to begin with, so you know what, just put it on holy and call it a day. Yeah, it's way more effective against these jokers. There's his whole deal, is moving evil wind out of the way, which just happened to condense themselves in doorways. Speed. Remember, folks, spinning solves everything. It's a good trick. He got me, but I got him. I'll take that trade. Nothing to give you. Yeah, you can keep the Desanga in there, so go ahead and just upgrade. The only reason there was even a debate there was whether I wanted to transfer the Desanga over to the Scorpion, get the poison advantage. But what I think will happen is if the Mirage somehow makes it to +5 before we're done with the game, we will add the Mirage to the Scorpion. That'll be the compromise. Oh hey, just a free level. Maybe it's more likely to happen than I think. Maybe that's the game giving me a nudge on that one. Like, hey, that'd be a good idea. Hey. Hey, listen. Hey, it's me, Navi. Changed a bit. Don't mind it. Don't mind it none at all. I'm taking a huge risk not healing here. But I had the stairs to help out there, so it's like, I can get away with this. Just keep prodding him in the bottom of the box until he dies. Go, health fully restored. Now back to causing trouble. I assume we picked up the key. Might not have. I feel like I have to have, though. Yep, there it is. Spin. I think ironically fire might actually be the Alexander's weakness, even though he spits fire. Because we seem to not be killing them as effectively ever since we switched to Holy. But they might also just resist Holy. Who knows? They die quick enough, so I'm not really going to worry over it too much. Okay, that's a problem. This whole getting frozen thing is getting real old. Honestly, kind of like the movies. Them getting old, that is. Of course, I also say this as somebody who never even saw them. I didn't have a chance to move their game. That was very rude. Literally, by the time he finished recovering from getting frozen the first time, he got frozen again. I would like to get to do literally anything here, game, please. Missed the bomb that started that entire problem. Great. And I'm now trapped in this corner. Okay. We're free. Everything's fine. The problem is he goes out of reach slightly when he reels back to do the ice shot. That's what got me in trouble. And all of that for arguably nothing? Like, it was a lot of experience for the Mirage, which is helpful, but the amount of resources used there was unfortunate. On the bright side, the next floor gonna be an absolute cakewalk. Osmond's just going to rinse everything with his machine gun, and it's gonna be a non-issue. And then we'll probably restock again after this next floor. I'm starting to wonder if I've got this constant scratchy throat because the air in this house is so much drier because the heat's on so much now. That might make sense. It's like, it's not majorly scratchy, it's just like very slightly scratchy and annoying. I heard the item drop noise and I'm like, tell me that that was the clock hand immediately, because that would have been hilarious. Just kept shaking his ass at me like I was gonna stop shooting. I have too many treasure keys. I need to find chests to use them on. Really? Just an entire giant room with nothing in it, huh? Okay. They're afraid of him. They fear his technology. Convenient fountain to get my water supply back. Went a little wild there, but it worked out. Wrong way. This way. Oh, that's upsetting. Oh, no, I have one feather left. I really thought that was the last one for a second there. I was gonna be very sad. Another reason to stop off for supplies just in case after this round. I ran out of feathers during the grinding, and let me tell you, it is night and day in a bad way to not have this feather speed anymore. This is very sad having to slowly plod your way through the maps. They really just gave him the chump squad to fight, huh? Like, everybody else had, like, dark dragons and stuff to fight. This guy's just got a bunch of jokers, quite literally. Actually, no, he hasn't fought any jokers on this floor yet. A bunch of cards. Why the hell did I'm actually myself? I just realized. You know what? That's just who I am, I guess. Yeah, I got the magic crystal in time for there to be literally nothing that changes. Anyway, I'm leaving. Back clock. Part of me wanted to take it slow going through here, but I thought about it a little bit more, and it's like, what if there's something else, though? You should probably just get through this in case there's an extra thing you're gonna have to do. So that it doesn't completely derail the schedule. And you're damn right I just sold one of the treasure keys. They sell for a lot, as it turns out. bunch of mighty healings to replace the ones I used. One more heal, one more water. So I don't know how much time any of the fighting coming up is gonna take. Lots of repair powder, so there's no excuses there. Another auto repair. A couple feathers. Alright. With a bit of luck, that should be the last shopping trip I'll have to make. And it'll be kind of neat having it be 66 saves. So there should be one more proper floor. Yeah, because we weren't at 400 yet, and there was one more story beat to tell. Which is why I bought the feathers. I almost didn't. Out of an interest in fair play, I'll have the main guy handle this floor. So everybody actually properly gets a turn. So if it's gonna have liches and things here, I may change my mind. Just because of the resource drain, as demonstrated there. Xander over there. No fountains so far, which makes me sad. Because as you might imagine, I'm trying to avoid using up all of my healing. Really now? Really, that hit, huh? Okay, game, I get the point. I'm not allowed to have nice things. I really feel like I had sidestepped that, though. And the game just was like, what if you didn't, though? What if you didn't, though? Fine, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I was gonna be nice and fight fair. No. Now I'm over it now. Fucking done. Every last one of you. Fucking done. Honestly, this floor was gonna be a nightmare to sort anyway. Goddamn dragons, Alexanders, liches, everything I didn't want to deal with. Considering the amount of holes in this stage anyway. I think it's 6 of one half dozen the other. Yeah, trying to use the sword in here would have been bad. I would have gotten frozen by one dragon and bullied by the other, just like what happened to Ungaga. It would have been very, very bad for me. G-Crusher's ready for another rank up. Don't have anything in it right now, so that's perfectly fine. Go ahead and rank it up. And then again, most of the enemies we're fighting here, Ungaga could handle, so maybe we do actually try to get the Mirage to +5 before we are done. That could work. Not that there's that much of this floor left, now that I've had that idea, but, you know. can at least say I did have that idea at some point. It doesn't need that much more for the next level. It's just gonna be a matter of he'll be one level short. Once we get a power powder. Would have been very funny if that had been a power powder. That was almost funny option number 2, where the joke would have been I broke the Mirage. Because after all, it was just a Mirage. Aha! There we go. Mirage plus 2 goes up to Mirage plus 3. So yeah, it's actually gonna be 2 levels short, because it's probably not gaining another level on this floor. Wow, Holy does a lot to the Liches. What do you know? Should have used that in the first place. So I guess that's the thing with them, is that they're very resistant to everything that isn't Holy. Which, again, makes sense. Get stun locked, get stun locked, get stun locked. Oh, that's a lot of Liches. Hold up, fixing my spear. Now I can beat you up. Scattered them like they were nothing. We are out of targets and didn't get an access to the back area. Time for more reading, though. There is one way. I don't care if I scar the world. I will stop him and get everything back. Everything. So he traveled through time to try to undo Sophia being killed and everything as well. Which, no, actually, if he undoes getting given the blood in the first place, he probably would end up undoing that as well. Because there would no longer be a reason for him to be assassinated, because he would just probably lose the war a lot sooner. Assuming things were that dire to begin with, which, based on what we were presented, they were. We just weren't there, so we don't really know the whole situation there. Since we had a bit of extra legwork to do, than I thought, we'll go ahead and pop out and save so I don't have to do all that again. Take stock one more time. Don't need fishing bait. Fuck the treasure keys at this point. Don't need tasty water. No excuses not to heal. Got lots of food. I got plenty of food. We'll grab a couple more mighty healings in case they're throwing a lot of debuffs at us. Save again, and then it's potentially off to the finale. Because I'm assuming that the battle with the genie is at the end of this. Night of Incident. Unless we just have to fight young Seba. Okay, it's gonna play out all of this again. I'll read it again, though. You're the ruler of this kingdom now. Those were my father's last words Then I asked my father, who had shut his eyes for the last time. Father, tell me, if I am to be king, what am I to accomplish? I met you the night of the ceremony where I was to officially become king. Your blue eyes, when I saw them, I felt an inexplicable excitement. You suddenly disappeared in the crowd. Who on earth are you? I want to see you again. That's all I can think of these days. Then the minister came to my room with a desperate look on his face. This is written slightly differently. A carriage carrying the princess of our neighboring kingdom is lost in the storm. It was 1 hour later that I met you again. Enemies lurk behind the morning mist. While I calm my steed, I send the sign to my thousands of allies behind me. All at once, the cavaliers advance. I witness a fearsome scene unfold before me. Is this war? I thought I heard my father's voice. Do not fear. Your task is to defend this kingdom. My allies fall one after another. The West has a wizard with fearful powers. Are we going to be defeated? No, I won't let that happen. I must defend this place or the devils of the West will invade your castle. I cannot allow that. A long time had passed since the battle started. Our troops were almost totally wiped out. I was taking a brief rest to formulate a plan to turn the tide. Then a man came up to me, a man in black robe, who asked me, "Do you want the power to win this battle?" Light coming from my hand obliterates my enemies. Is this the dark power? I bargained with the devil for his power, but with it I can save all. If I have this power, no one can harm you. I was euphoric at the victory when I returned to the castle. Soon I would see you again. You came, sooner than I'd thought. My heart, spent from the battle, raced. I didn't know that you, who'd entered my room, would be the imposter who was after my life. I couldn't believe it. It should have been me. You saved my life at the expense of your own. Why do you smile? Because you saved the one you loved. What about me? Who am I to save? Something was born in me. Something malevolent and terrible. The black blood that now coursed through me gave birth to that thing. That evil. Sadness, anger, and hatred at losing you. This endless blackness is the energy that feeds him. My kingdom was laid to waste at his hand. I lost not only you, my beloved, but my land, my people. I lost everything. Everything! No, what am I saying? No, that's not it. No, wrong. Wrong! What I'd really lost was myself. There's only one way to do it. I don't care if I destroy space and time in the process. I will do it. I will stop him. I'll take back everything. Everything I lost. All of it. And here we are, where it happened. "400 years ago. That was a weird looking door. You want to break rules and change history? Interesting. Let's see how you do. Huh? Open the door to the past and realize how powerless you are. There he is. There's Seba in the past. Nice coat he's got there. Was it really the right thing to do? We won. Why do I feel this darkness about me? Seta! Are we gonna cause the death? We're gonna set all this in motion ourselves. Seta, you're alive! Sophia, I'm so relieved. War is over. The killing is over. That's wonderful. There shall be no more bloodshed. No, and together now we will rebuild our kingdom. Yes, Seta. Seta! Huh? Dun dun dun! Sophia? What's going on? Two Sophias? Jackpot! Wait, no. Seta, be careful. It's probably an assassin from the west. Disguised as me to sneak into the castle and destroy you. Who are you? Reveal yourself. Seta, no, you're mistaken. I'm Sophia. I don't believe you. Sophia's right here. So you're just gonna believe the one that was there first, huh? Rather than the one that appeared at its appointed time? Behind you, stupid. Seta, watch out! Who are you? Which one? Eh. Well, guess we can't do anything further about this. Bastard from the west. Despicable coward. Prepare to die. Ah! Yeah, I kind of figured that wasn't going to work out well. Paralysis magic is cheating. Yep. And history has its way. Seta, please wake up. This assassin is not from the west, but from here. What? You won the war. Lost something important. Support of the people, I suppose. What? How could this be? Sophia! Ah. Why you? I don't care who you are. You'll pay dearly for this. Bye! Might have wanted to keep the body as proof that you didn't just murder Sophia. Seta, are you alright? Yes. Thank God. We've defeated the West, but our people are spent. Seta, please protect the people. And once again, be... Yes, I know. Don't say a word. Seta, be a good and noble king, please. Sophia! Sophia! All that magic and you can't fix that. Who are you? Did you come to kill me too? So you hate me too. Go, fine, go ahead and kill me. Now we're here for that, actually. See, that's the problem. We need to do something about that. We tried to avert the tragedy that made you do this in the first place, but unfortunately, you know. They kind of cheated with magic. You failed. Boy from the future, you failed to change history. The infinite power given to me can drink up the very flow of time. Beyond time, I will reign over all. As long as human hatred runs pure and clear, I will exist without end. This never-ending flow of dark power will see me to the pinnacle of all that exists. Now come, kneel before me, Dark Genie. Using Seta's body still a bit there too, judging from the hair. Okay, I can't lock onto him, so I'm gonna assume I have to wait for a moment to be able to hurt him. Probably. Unless I'm meant to throw somebody else's attacks at him first. Which I might have to... Ow? Okay, he's just got a... like a pretty much guaranteed hit attack, it seems. Alright, let's try things and see what happens. Ow. Nope, gun don't work. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to hit the hand. Oh, I think I see the bit here, and I'm not exactly a fan, but I think I understand. Notice the no effect. There's different colors of eyes on the hands. I think I need to match the attack to the color of the hand, but it's so fast. Okay, he's got red and blue right now. It's a good thing my sword has everything. Because I do think the sword might be the best choice for managing to hit this right now. Just because of speed. Like, I can just step out of the way of it and then immediately swing. Yep, that's what I gotta do. Okay, that makes sense. So, either I should have another weapon ready with water, or ice rather, or I should just switch to ice. I should probably just switch to it. Just trying to adapt on the fly would be difficult. So I guess I could also just wait for red hands, because it seems like he doesn't necessarily do 2 and 2 every time. So yeah, we'll just wait for red hands then. Just swing at it regardless so I don't end up missing an opportunity. We're doing 270, which isn't half bad. I do think, though, this might be a good time to chug a stamina drink since we don't get to hit him too many times. So, if we make each time we hit him more worthwhile, we're gonna do a lot more. For to benefit ourselves here. As long as, you know, sends out a red hand quick enough. Yeah, that's 540 instead of the 270. That's way better. Now he's gonna do his free attack. No, he didn't do it. Just kind of hesitated there. Oh, now he's got holy. Missed it. Knocked me over and hurt me a little bit. That's okay. I'm assuming when he folds up like that, he's probably changing elements. Yeah, in fact, you can see them on his hands when they're back there, actually. It's a little hard to see, but you can see them just on his hands back there. It's fitting that we're trying to defeat a creature who's trying to be at the beginning and end of all of time with a sword called the Big Bang. How many hits are you gonna take? You got water and holy right now, it looks like. Prepare the sword before you break it, you fool. Nope, that's water again. He's switching. He's got fire and lightning, I think? Yeah, that looks like lightning. Two that the sword's very good at. God damn it, that was fire. You can tell which hand's gonna come up because you can see which hand goes down, but I can't keep the camera on him well enough to be able to see that consistently. Take the wind damage, that's fine. Considering I can't lock onto the hands, as far as I can tell, there's no point in trying to switch to one of the ranged characters to try to hit these faster or harder or anything. And honestly, I'm pretty sure our sword is the strongest weapon we have, give or take. Which, actually, on that note, there's something I should do. Yeah, because I don't have anything in here right now. Who had the... You have the macho. Macho up. As This way we do as much damage as we physically can. What elements you got now? You still got fire and lightning. You didn't actually change. You tried to fake me out. Fuck you. Nope, he's changing now. He's got double lightning, it looks like. Okay, that's great for me, actually. So that's gonna mean every hand can be damaged by me. Yeah, that comes up right now. This is kind of a silly fight, I'll be honest. I'm definitely glad, though, that I buffed the main character as much as I did. Oh, that hand disappeared. I guess I disabled one of his hands now. Now I keep running into the other one. So do I have to cycle through all of the elements? No, it looks like the other... It looks like the hand I broke is still broken. So water should be all I need. I'm gonna keep calling it water. Oh, nope, he cycled back to lightning. Make up your mind, you silly man. Can you see that I'm changing my elements to match your elements? Is that what's going on here? Wind again, that's fine. Should be almost broken. Yep, there it goes. Dark Genie's targetable now. Okay. He's got a yellow eyeball, so I'm going to assume I need to use lightning to hurt him right now. Okay, trying to charge shot that is not a good idea. This part's gonna be a little bit slower, probably. His hurt damage isn't quite as high as mine. It's time to pass the Macho on. But I think hers is still mostly maxed, isn't it? No, there's 30 points to gain there. Maybe worth stamina boosting her for this phase as well. Though that's my only other stamina drink. I kind of wish I had held on to more of those. $200's way better, though, and with stamina boost, she's also taking no damage from his wind, which is the more important part, so I'm not burning healing items as much. Won't last that much longer, admittedly, but you know, take what you can get and all that. Direct hit from that was unfortunate, but we still hit him again. This great team effort, though, is going to win us the day. It is weird how he suddenly twitches into place. If he's not aiming at you when he does his laser. He'll just suddenly, like, flick across to be in the correct spot to be able to hit you. Do the cheese, just to make sure. Oh, you can hit him when he's doing that. Yeah, anytime the eyes open, you can hit him. Okay. I was waiting till after the beam, because when I was shooting before, it wasn't working. So I may as well just keep firing then. Yeah, but I can't get a charge shot off because he'll just interrupt it every fucking time, it seems. Which is a shame, because a charge shot would do a lot more. know, it'd be what it be. Quit spamming the wind. I'm glad I bought so much healing, because we're needing it just because he has that guaranteed hit move. I suppose I could try blocking the... What? I guess the laser has an AoE to it that's stuck around? Question mark? Not really sure what happened there. Like, I have to assume that's what happened there. But I genuinely didn't see anything hit her. She just kind of fell over. I'm gonna go and snooze that ad while I have the presence of mind to do so. Could you imagine if we didn't have at least decent power on our ranged characters? How bad this fight would be? Oh, wait, there we go. Something's happening. Yeah, I didn't figure that was gonna be the end of it. Get a load of this freak show. So we got Gaseous, Dark Genie, and another Gaseous. Oh god! I was not ready for just a murder laser to come out. Oh, he's still lasering too. Okay, not a safe spot there. Not a safe spot. I kind of figured, okay, maybe if I stand close to him, he won't be able to hit me. Turns out that's wrong. This may actually be the first fight that takes us multiple tries, other than the Dran fight. Because of game mechanics. Okay, those waves do hit a bit better than I thought they would. Game, please. You probably could hear the frantic mashing of me trying to get the inventory open. Just trying to get rid of his minions so that I have free reign to do what I'm going to need to do here. But I may be better served just ignoring them. Okay, now the plan is we switch. I'm hoping Osmond's ability to shoot and move will benefit us. Okay, I don't know why the laser just kind of sat there and then moved. I don't know what the fuck happened there. I'll be honest, I got confused. It was just sitting there. I'm like, oh, I guess I can just go around it and it'll be fine. And then I suddenly died. What I probably should have done was use Osmond to deal with the Gaseouses. Oh, they're back up again, huh? Yeah, no, he's doing a much better job of dealing with those. So what I think is happening with the laser is I think there's a little bit of a delay on its tracking some of the time, and that's where it gets a bit weird. Either that or it's interacting poorly with the use of the feather. That's entirely possible as well. If we do lose this, I'm gonna probably have to get more healing available because holy shit. Okay, now in terms of actually hurting the Dark Genie, somebody else is probably better. I thought it was going to be a good idea to use that, but turns out not as much. There we go, 277, that's pretty good. It's so hard to read the timing on some attacks in this game, because they don't really telegraph it too well. The attack just kind of happens. And by that I mean, obviously you can see that they're attacking, but the actual damage point of the attack doesn't necessarily match the animation. Minions are back on their feet, so let's clear them again. Osmond is ideally suited to this because he can just kind of wander around and shoot while avoiding the laser. You know, as long as he doesn't just get immediately clobbered by it, because it just happens to end up in a bad spot relative to him when it first starts. Targeting, please! We're out of healing, so... ain't shit I'm gonna be able to do if he gets hit again. So let's just be careful here. I really thought I bought enough healing, by the way. But I didn't know what this fight looked like. Did not anticipate him being on my head. Okay, we got some good work done there. We're getting low on stand-in powders, though, so this might get bad. Oh, you guys got revived and I didn't notice. I should have noticed, but I got caught up in the opportunity I had there to do damage. Yeah, I knew Osmond was dying there. I don't have the options I would like to have for avoiding attacks like that to make this move quickly. Because your only real avoidance option is to break lock on and just run with the feather. But because of the way the camera works, it's very hard to align yourself in such a way that you can see that. Also, I really hate that this sound is just continuously playing while I'm trying to sort things out in my inventory to do a thing. Yeah, those shockwaves are the issue at this point. Because I can't watch them, watch the beam, and watch these two clowns all at the same time. It's a lot to try to keep track of at once. Down. Yeah, Ruby's honestly a little bit better at this job than Osmond, aside from the fact that she has to stand still. I forgot that he was very low on health, but I have a choice to make. Who do I bring back? I only can bring back one. No, I think with the need to dodge, I think we need Osmond. Okay. So they may be wondering why I didn't move there. I got stuck on the corpses. The character who can float with a propeller can get stuck on corpses. And for some reason these corpses are solid in this fight, as a whole other point. So I have a choice to make now. I either load my save so we don't burn all those resources, and we have to redo the whole fight anyway. So I'm assuming I have to redo the entire fight. Or I leave half my money, which is not literally nothing. I'm leaving 22 coins on the table. Problem is, I will be losing all my resources. Like, just to take stock, we have fucking nothing. So I'm gonna have to load my save. I basically just don't have a choice. So bear with me a second on that one. That's basically how this is going to play out, is we're gonna have to keep loading the save when we lose, because I don't have the resources to replace all of that. But what this shows me is he doesn't do much in the way of debuffing or anything. So I can get rid of a lot of the other stuff I have. The bombs do seem like they're actually going to be fairly helpful, so I can use those. And what I might do is I might save those stamina drinks for the second phase, rather than burning them on the first phase, because the first phase really isn't that bad. The secondary thing, though, is we may very well actually go see about buying some more stamina drinks somewhere, because we can't buy them here, obviously. We can definitely buy them elsewhere. And now is the time where we just get rid of everything we're not using. All of the extraneous shit is going away and turning into resources. So 3,000 should be enough for resources at this point. I don't see a reason to worry more than that. Buy a bunch of those, buy a bunch of these, buy a bunch of those. I have no inventory space left, so it's time to start getting rid of shit. We don't need nearly so much repair powder for this. Feathers are useful, so we're keeping those. These don't need to be here. Cheese is good, but not good enough. Soap doesn't need to be here. Antidotes don't need to be here. So if I'm gonna get stamina drinks, I need to make some space still. You know what, the hell with the bombs. I don't think they're gonna be worth it. Because of how long it's gonna take me to actually get to use them, I think it's better to just remove them entirely. Does any shop actually carry stamina drinks, though? That's the all-important question. Because if they do, I can use that to my advantage. If there is no shop that carries stamina drinks, that plan's not gonna bear fruit. What this tells me, though, is I should have apparently made myself even stronger than I did. So I held back a little bit. I could have spent like an entire day grinding instead of just a couple hours. But I chose to only spend a couple hours to try to keep it a little fairer. That was a mistake. You don't have stamina drinks, you're useless to me. I don't really know if any of these shops are gonna have stamina drink. I swear I saw a shop that had them, and I was like, I'm never gonna buy these. Little did I know. But you know. And I'm pretty sure I didn't have any more in storage. I should have checked. But I was pretty sure I'd cleaned out, like, the majority of my storage. Nope, you don't have it either. You even shook your head at me like, no, I don't have stamina drinks. Go away, kid. Our best shot's probably Queens. Thinking about it, because there's so many shops there. And if there are no stamina drinks, I'm probably just gonna spend all of that money on healing items. Because I don't really want to do the stand-in powder or resurrection powder loop more than I have to, as you might imagine. Susie, you might have them. You do. Alright, that's all of the money. I have 69 coins left. But that is probably as potent an inventory as I can assemble. I should have saved. I should have saved before I went in here. Oh well. If I botch it again, we'll redo it. Or, actually, I have a better plan, because it looks like I'm gonna have to sit through all this text. I'm gonna put a save state down after we get into the fight. This way we can just keep restarting the fight without all of the extra faff. I'm kind of glad that we didn't do this first try, though, because it would be a little bit of a disappointing final battle if we just crushed him, right? Which I was a little bit worried about that with how kind of easy the first phase was starting to get once I understood it. Yeah, I can't skip anything yet. I don't even know if I'll be able to skip the actual sequence that happens. I know some cutscenes you can skip. This one might not be skippable, which is another reason why the save state's gonna happen, so that we don't have to sit through all of this every time. Yep, still just as unskippable as the previous part was. Which makes sense, this is kind of important. Just mildly annoying, because it's like, I got things to do, game. I need to redo this fight. But the game doesn't know that it happened because I loaded the save. Dun dun dun. I do wonder how many times I'm gonna have to do this. Because there's every possibility that this will actually take a few tries. But there's also every possibility that with all of the extra prep I did, that we'll get it right the first time of the refights. Powerful magic they had in this age to be able to just paralyze somebody with a gesture. As time went, we really must have left a lot of magic behind. But then again, when a disaster occurs, I suppose a lot is lost. And the first war with the Dark Genie definitely would qualify as a disaster. There he goes, getting yeeted off the balcony again. Whoever's down there where he lands is gonna be really confused. I gotta wonder, are we here in this time every time? Like, were we always here because the time loop has to be stable, so we always went back in time, and we are actually the root cause of all of this? Wouldn't that be a hell of a thing? But then again, that also may just be the Dark Genie's influence on time already having spread that far. Twisting Setta's reaction to us. Okay, now that I can pause, save state. It yelled at me about the Virtual Console not having been saved in a long time. That's a lie. I literally saved just a bit ago. He's switching hands. He's got... I didn't get a chance to see because the camera's a pain in my ass. Thunder and Wind is what he's got. So Thunder is our highest. We'll use Thunder. Just dodge the Wind hand for now. I like it when you have all one element. Could you just do all one element? That'd be great. No, that's the wrong one. I don't want that one. You scratched your butt with that one. I don't want it. Yeah, that's the stinky one. I don't want that one. Still the stinky one. The sooner I can break one hand, the faster this whole process will go. Yeah, I knew you were gonna do that at some point. It honestly had taken him a while to do it. I also forgot to sort the inventory. There we go. Yeah, we have 8 stamina drinks. And that's probably all going into the second phase. I may use one in the Ruby section of this fight, actually. Thinking about it, 1 or 2 of them might go into that part just to keep Ruby alive. Make that part go faster. Speaking of going faster, I forgot to move the macho thing over to Wii U. Where was it again? I think you had it, didn't you? Yeah, you did. Give me that. And I was thinking I was gonna need to make Ruby stronger. But I also was thinking, like, maybe 66 is high for her, because a lot of her weapons don't seem to max out much higher than that. Turns out I was fucking wrong. There we go, one hand down. I do have Wind on this, so I guess I'll switch to it while he's still fixated on using that hand with Wind on it. Yep, now he's changing. What are you changing to? Back to lightning, you bastard. I just changed that. I'm betting there's people out there that have played this so much they could probably like get charge attacks off on these hands because they know exactly how they'll spawn and things like that. Though they definitely target you, so you'd have to step out of the way at the very least. Back to Wind. I could try using Osmond for the second phase, though, instead of Ruby. and just like pelt him. That might work. Like, just stamina drink up Osmond and just have him go to town. Changing colors. Unholy now, which is, I think, the Big Bang's worst. Oh no. Wind and ice are its worst. We're using way less resources in this phase now, though, because I know what to do with this phase. There we go. Hands are gone. It's targetable. All right, Osmond, it's your show. Show him what you know how to do. Yeah, see, I don't think that's gonna work. And the stamina is per character. I fucking wasted it giving it to Osmond then. Unless he hangs on to it for a while, which he might. Like, it might stay with him until, well, he's used again. Which will work for the next phase. Grab the Macho back. So I'm probably not going to be doing it in too much more fighting for a little while. It does seem like he hits back in response to getting hit with the wind. So it's kind of controllable how much of that he's doing. Yeah, doubling the damage we're doing and removing the need to heal from this phase is huge. Yeah, he definitely attacks back in response. You can keep him in a loop this way, actually, then. Because every time he comes out of knocking me down with the wind, I can just shoot again, and I'll end up hitting him. Most of the time. Oh, you fucker. I hate how long explosions stay on the field in this game. This is kind of a cheap shot. Not that his whole wind thing isn't kind of a cheap shot, too, considering it just seems like it's a guaranteed hit. But, you know. He is the final boss. Fair isn't necessarily meant to be his forte. Like, maybe you can outrun that. Like, you can run to the side hard enough that you avoid it. Oh, he did it twice in a row that time, you fuck. And that shot missed. Love that for me. Okay, that phase is done now. I do wonder if there's a third phase. There might be. I genuinely wouldn't be shocked if there was. But that's where I am. Really? You're gonna have that count, huh? And now I'm just getting juggled. Great. Okay, game. I would love to know why I just wasn't allowed to have control of my movement there at all. Because I told him to move forward so he'd get out of the laser, and he just moved to the side anyway. He just didn't listen to directions at all. So much for that fucking stamina drink. That just got completely wasted. Now, don't get me wrong, it helped him tank the first hit, but that didn't really matter. You give me that. Take that for now. Really, game? Have I really just lost the mojo for dodging that, like, entirely now? Okay, and, you know, don't target them. Don't target what I'm telling you to at all. Let's just have the controls just completely shit the bed now, for fun. Doing that thing again. I didn't lock on, and he was just still convinced he needed to point that way and ignore all input. What the fuck is happening here? Alright, now we're in this phase. What do I do here? Because I probably should use somebody with range still to try to hit the head. So I think actually we might want to use Ruby for that. Even though she's hurt. Give her a stamina drink so she can just slam the head as hard as she can. Because we need to do as much damage to that head as we can. It's fucking corpses. Yeah, 302 is solid. When he's got his mouth forward like that, I can do a charge shot and probably do way more. Oh, that's how that works. Okay. That makes sense. So how that bit works is if you take too long to hit the mouth, that's what makes the laser happen. Unfortunately, he decided to be a dick and go for the res. So I think what we do actually is we ignore the minions, like entirely, and we just bully the Dark Genie's head so he can't laser. Because the minions aren't really much of an issue. But I didn't understand the assignment at first. Now that I understand, this is actually a lot more reasonable. I thought the laser was just a guaranteed part of this fight. Whereas this fuckery is not okay. Like, invariably, we were gonna have a point where you were gonna get stuck on these minions. And Ruby died because... I wish this game had a better camera. Like, it doesn't matter 90% of the time, but for a fight like this, the camera really is an issue. It's like, you're reliant on lock-on to be able to aim reasonably for the most part, unless you want to sit there and toggle back and forth between, like, first-person mode or something, and good fucking luck with that. That would be a nightmare. And he's gonna get to aim again because lock-on's fucking stupid. Because the thing is, you gotta wait for him to open his mouth, but by the time he opens his mouth, a lot of other problems already show their ugly head. Because you gotta avoid the slam, and then get back around to the head, around the minions fast enough to do it the way I'm doing it now. So it's kind of working, just looping them around like this with the melee, so maybe the melee is the better choice. And I can also boost the melee damage a lot more than I can the range damage, so hold that thought. Give me that. So I was trying to play it safe and be able to dodge the waves a lot more, but I'm thinking it doesn't matter. I'm thinking we ignore the waves as a concept. And we just go ham. It also takes a lot less aiming to hit him with a sword. And doing 1,000 damage at a time, kinda nice. Kinda nice. Okay, that form is defeated. Is there a third form? Or is he done now? Indeed, you possess great power. But I am immortal. Every time I fall, I'll be reborn again. About that. Don't you see the futility of it? Killing me is wasted energy. A hopeless exercise. I am infinite. Ah! He's melting! Melting! Drac. Finding white light, is that you? Old man! Genie will return if you don't get rid of Seta's hate energy. Look around you carefully. Yeah, he's still emanating hate. Listen up, Drac. Atla Milia has the power to seal almost anything in Atla, but its power extends beyond that. Probably could have told me about this a long time ago. Now is the time to use that hidden power, the power to bring a lost soul back. The Atla Milia will be consumed, but with its final power, it can do one thing. It can bring a soul into Atla Milia. It is not too late. Call out for Sophia's wandering soul. So we really are gonna undo the death, and that's gonna solve the problem. Because we defeated the genie, and now we just need to keep him fucking calm. And the best way to calm him? Bring his lost love back to life. Bye, Atla Milia. You've done your part. Now our glove's just a glove again. Seta. Sophia! I'm alive? Yes. Drac, so it's over now. That evil will never come back to life. At least not for some time. So we really just did the whole kicking this down the road thing again. But we didn't solve the problem still. Okay, I guess that's why a sequel exists. How do you know about that? Don't worry about it. We'll deal with that later. Let's go home. Can you get up? Yes, I'm fine. Seta, where did the boy go? Huh? Oof, we were never really here. And then one of the past assassins climbs back up on the balcony and chucks her off. I'm sorry, Sophia. I was wrong. What an empty victory, selling my soul to darkness. What has become of this world now? War-torn, desolate and barren, like a drought-stricken field. Yes, it was me. It was all my doing. Seta. Lying unconscious, I heard the boy call my heart. He told me of the journey he had taken. It was a fantastic adventure to create a new world. Seta, we still have time. Perhaps you, as king, can create a new world. The boy must have come to tell you just that. Sure, from far away. Far away's right, yeah. If you consider time distance, we were from very, very far away. Let's make it together. Kingdom free, full of smiling faces. A new history leading to a bright future. And there we go, we've saved the day. About as I expected to have, with the help of only a few instead of everybody. We really only used Ruby, Osmond, and myself in the final battle, exactly as I predicted. But we did need them all to be able to get through their respective floors. So, it was still important to have improved them. It's a little sad how quickly that second phase got eviscerated when I just gave in to anger and just put all the power to the sword and slammed him. But it felt good. It felt good. But based on the fact that this took 3.5 hours, I'm glad I didn't push yesterday to try to do this. And we are gonna have this go ahead and be a short day, because I'm still feeling a little And I think cutting early to give myself more recovery time before Thursday is probably gonna be important. Because Thursday is gonna be a lot. What with the archipelago and everything. But this was still a very good game. I do think you would have had a better time. Like, I would recommend anyone who goes and plays this game focus down on a couple characters a little bit more. Like, one melee, one ranged is probably all you need. Focus on two, and you will have a much better overall experience at the end, other than getting through those floors. But as long as you have a couple synth spheres from the characters you're focusing on to hand around, you'll probably be able to make that work anyway. You know what the funniest thing is that I just realized? We won that fight using the amount of resources I had the first time. If I had known what I was getting into and just committed to stabbing him, we would have won the first time. Why am I not surprised by that reality? But other than the camera issue, this game is fantastic. Genuinely no complaints, no notes. Some of the writing is a little but I blame that more on localization than on the writing itself. I don't know that for certain, though. Because obviously I can't read Japanese, so I wouldn't be able to read the original script to be able to compare. I will say, at the end of the day, none of the 100% effects and such mattered. Like, you could probably get through this game in like a third of the time, just doing the bare minimum to get the items you need in order to progress. Obviously, you would be missing out on a chunk of the game, but if somebody's going for speed, that would probably be the play. Oh, wait. We're going home, it looks like. And Zhao is back to being a cat. Guess everything really is back to normal, huh? This will probably be showing what happened to everybody. Ow. Oh. I was gonna say, I don't think anybody would believe us about the story of what we did, but they were there for the first part. They experienced the genie blowing up the town and us resurrecting them, so they know that part's true. Going to the moon and everything might sound like a little bit of a long shot, though. A new land is added to the world map. Hold up. Save clear data? Yay. Let's take a look at that new area on the map. I'm curious. I don't think I'll do it because I think it's like a special dungeon as an extra thing. But I'll at least show you guys that it exists. Oh, it made a noise too. Huh. Just saw a pop-up email from crowd control that looked interesting. Oh yeah, there it is. No, that's Shipwreck. I don't... Oh, there we go. Demon Shaft. We'll pop our head in. But I'm not gonna do this in full. I am definitely tired, like I said. But I want to at least see this. I'm assuming this is just another dungeon, and it's gonna be like a Pit of 100 Trials type deal. But I would be remiss to not at least look at it, you know? Of course, there's gonna be no Atla to worry about or anything like that. Oh, and there's unique enemies here. Oh, they're strong. Oh, holy bullshit, they're strong. Because remember, this is our strongest weapon. That's doing, like, nothing to them. Now, it could be the element. That's a bit better. That still really ain't doing a lot, though. Crystal Eyeball. Yep, that's the back area key. I don't know if I want to go to the back area of this place. This place is scary. Oh, silver and gold are here. So is that gonna mean like mini bosses and such are on the table as just things that'll spawn in here? Yikes. Let's get a little bit of a sample of the kind of treasure that this place will have. God damn it, I need something that's actually treasure, game. Disappointment. Okay, try again. Fuck's sake. There's very little treasure here to begin with, it seems. Just like any other dungeon. Mummies. Yeah, it looks like it is gonna have, like, everything but plus some extras. Another crystal eyeball. This place is dangerous, yo. We're gonna check this last chest, and if it also doesn't have anything interesting, that'll be where we end it. And even if it does, that's probably where we'll end it anyway. Okay. So yeah, that is Demon Shaft. Post-game super dungeon, I guess. But that'll do it for today. I think that's entirely fine to stop there, because we've completed the game. Oh, I should probably tell y'all what number game that is and everything now, as we usually do. That is now number 49 for the year, and our one and only one so far for November. So I'll go ahead and update that, and then I'll go find us a raid target. There we go. One more game and we'll have done on 50 for the year. So even if I don't beat another game this month, as long as I get the one that I'm aiming to get for December, we're good. We will have beaten in a game at least one game every month and have beaten 50 games. May not sound that impressive in some ways, but I'd say it was worthwhile. This also will free up the schedule nicely. So we can handle events and such. Which, I'll be honest, there's an entire possibility where I may delay doing Dark Cloud 2 and/or Breath of Fire longer to do something else in between as well. We shall see. While I'm rambling here, I'm going to lay this all out for y'all for a little bit while I'm taking care of making a choice. Simple fact of the matter is, we are still really, like, we're not in dire straits for money, but I specifically do not have any flexible income to speak of at all right now, so I need to do some more stuff that will obviously make more money. So there may very well be another event I run either this month or next month to try to generate revenue. I don't want to keep running these events because it feels kind of bad to be constantly doing things with the intent of pulling in money. And I know everybody's struggling, but I don't really have the most choices there either, as I'm sure makes sense. But I wanted to take a moment to lay out the reasoning and everything for it alongside, so it doesn't just come off as, oh hey, I'm gonna be asking you guys for money again. Is that's not a good look, you know? And that's not who I want to be. And I'll be honest, now that I finished the game, I just felt my energy fucking drop. So we may just bail without a raid today. I was tempted to yesterday already too, but just today I think is gonna be a no raid day. But I do want to take a moment to thank you all for your time. I appreciate all of you taking the time to be here anytime that you do manage to make time to be here. And we will be back on Thursday night, like I said, with the Archipelago with the Dragon Council. I don't 100% know exactly when I will personally be starting that. I will probably be joining that later on in the day, so I keep schedule relatively stable. It sounds like they are going to be doing like the group call and everything later on in that evening anyway. So what I may do, depending on when it sounds like that's all going to shake out, is I may start with just you guys and then join them as it goes. We'll see. All of that's kind of in flux, and we'll just do it as we go. You know how I do by now. Take care of yourselves, y'all. Have a good night. Bye.